parts of your kidney you want to look at. So letter A says kidney. This is a kidney. And then B, so you have your ureters are these right here. So people get the word ureter and urethra mixed up all the time. I still do it. So what you have is your kidneys, filter everything into your renal pelvis, and then it drips down into the ureters. So you even have to think about it, ureters. And then you have a bladder down here that fills up with urine, and then your urethra is what pours it out, or pee it out. So like girls have a really short urethra, whereas boys have a really long urethra. But we all have the same ureters. So think, because your kidneys are about right here, and then your bladder's down there, so that travels all the way down through your ureters. Does that make sense? U-R-E-T-E-R. It's letter B, ureter.
Okay, the B.
Yeah. And then the urinary bladder, like I said, would be down here. There's a good picture in your book on page, it's 56.1. And then renal vein and artery, that should be a good question to ask because y'all have already done it. So you have your renal artery, renal vein. Also, there's two areas on your kidney you have to differentiate. So if I say this region of the kidney, a kidney is broken down to two regions. You have your cortex, which is the outer region, which you can see here, there's a shade difference. And you have your medulla, which is the middle region. So M for medulla. Always find the medulla because the medulla houses the medullary pyramids of the kidney. So all these big bulging pyramids are inside of the medulla, whereas the cortex is just out here.
Where are the medullary pyramids?
These things right here.
Oh.
Boop, boop, boop. And then the cortex out here. I actually have a sheep kidney cut open to show you guys. Really, all you can see on the sheep kidney is that you can see a clear difference between the cortex and the medulla because they're colored differently. And then you can also see the renal pelvis. And then, remember, these are ureters. What else is on here?
Pyramids. In the
I went over the pyramids. Sorry, you can just call them pyramids. I said medullary pyramids.
In the book, it calls them renal medulla. Is that right? Am I looking at the right thing?
The renal medulla is the whole area. Oh, I just punched that microscope. So the pyramid is like this structure,
Oh,
but it's in this whole medulla area.
okay.
I can't believe I just punched that. Yeah, these are called pyramids. So they look like pyramids, so that helps. And pyramids are in the medulla.
This is the renal pelvis?
Yep. Renal pelvis is right here. This part right here. Ureter, renal pelvis, pyramids.
What about renal papilla?
So your renal papilla, do you see where number 5 is labeled on here? This is your renal papilla. It's like do you remember the papillary muscles or where the strings kind of anchored into? This is where the pyramids anchor into, right here.
All of them?
Yeah,
All
so
of
you
them?
have a renal
Okay.
papilla all right here.
And the renal capsule.
Renal capsule, no idea.
Okay. So how?
Great.
So
It's a good day to be me.
the renal pelvis, I know it's right there, but can we? So how can we like? I don't know. I could
It would
look in the
be
book.
It's
number
above the
4.
ureter.
It's the beginning of the ureter, or like.
So it's kind of, think of it as like, because I have to explain this later, but pretty much you have millions of these little things in here filtering out your blood, and the filtrate that they take out is going to slowly all drip into your renal pelvis from everywhere, and then once it's in your renal pelvis, then it travels down your
Okay.
ureters to your bladder, where your bladder holds it, and then goes through your urethra and out. If anyone can find renal capsule, 10 points for Gryffindor. I didn't review that one.
That's it?
Oh,
So that's it for the gross anatomy of the kidney.
is the fibrous
have
capsule the same as the renal?
Yeah,
capsule?
the renal capsule is the fibrous capsule.
So it's just
This
the
is
outside of it.
Just the outside.
What do the pyramids do?
I'll get in.
I'm just gonna
I'm more
hold off on
concerned. Yeah, hold off on that question for a little bit. Oh, a little bit. So for these last couple of minutes, I'm gonna go through this. I'm not gonna be able to explain a ton of it yet because this is why kidneys are complicated, is this little guy right here. I'm just gonna give you all the basics of it and the anatomy, and then I'm gonna post a video on Tracks for you to watch that'll really help you understand this better than me telling you, because it's so complicated. Yeah, I have a picture on Tracks.
The picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna do lots of track stuff today. It's gonna be great. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through these real quick. Pretty much, just to give y'all an idea of what's going on, this whole thing, the structural and functional unit of a kidney is called a nephron. So kind of how structural and functional unit of the nervous system is a neuron or a cell, whatever. This is a nephron, and these are microscopically tiny. So just to give you some perspective, you have millions of these just in like one section of your kidney. So there's tons of these in your kidneys. Super small. Someone has it on theirs. I think it's y'all. Yep, so this gives, oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
This gives kind of a perspective of what's going on, but you have, this just shows one kind of blown up, but this is a little nephron unit in here, and sometimes it dips into the medulla, sometimes it doesn't. So it's normally found in your cortex. But you do have the loop of Henle that'll dip down into your medulla. So that's just to give you the idea of where they are in here. So picture this structure, and there's just millions of them in your whole kidney. There's a lot. So you have your, as you just see up here, your afferent is going to go in, and then efferent goes out. So afferent's going to bring the blood in, and then you have your thing in here called your glomerulus. Is the bundle in here, and it's surrounded by the Bowman capsule. And then you have your PCT, if you just want to call it that, it's called your proximal convoluted tube. It's called that because it's proximal, it's near the glomerulus. Whereas over here you have your distal convoluted tube, where it's distal is further away from the glomerulus. And convoluted means like this, if you know what that word means. So right here, you're gonna have, this is part of the filter system. So the filtrate's gonna go through here, and you wanna reabsorb the good stuff. So you don't wanna pee out sugar, amino acids, salt, because you need that, you wanna recycle that. So it comes out here, dips down through the loop of Henle, back up, and then goes to your DCT, does kind of some more similar things, and then goes through your collecting duct. This is the last chance for water and other things to be reabsorbed. And then the collecting duct is gonna go down into here, where they're all gonna drip into the renal pelvis, and that's what collects your urine. And you pee it out. So that's a very basic explanation of how it works, a very poor explanation as well. But that's as much as I'm gonna say today.
And